Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Studio Series number 26, Deluxe Class World War II Bumblebee. So this is from the one little flashback scene during the last night where they showed Bumblebee on Earth during World War II. And he had kind of this little gun tank mode, which was kind of neat. But this has already been negated by the standalone Bumblebee movie, which is now a reboot. I think they officially came out and said it's going to be a reboot now. So this is already irrelevant. But it's a neat little toy. And I can't believe Bumblebee's actually green for once. He's not yellow. It's freaking me out, breaking my mind. Anyway, cool picture over here on the side. You can see number 26. Over here, another cool picture. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. Spin around to the back. Just says World War II flashback. Because it's true. That's what it was. It was a flashback. Taking a look on the back here. Already reviewed these two guys. Not going to be picking up Camaro B. Have enough Camaro B toys. So let's go ahead, let's get them out of the packaging here, and let's take a closer look. So here's the little diorama-like scene that these come with. Definitely not necessary, but I think it's something neat they do for all the Studio Series figures. Just to move him out of the way real quick, it's the kind of World War II firefight scene that he is a part of from the last night. So they did a pretty good job recreating that, and there he is with all his weapons, ready to cause some mayhem. So I definitely don't have room to display all these, but I think they're neat that they're included. And if you have the room, definitely go ahead. Nice little stand and backdrop for these figures. So here is World War II Bumblebee. And I have to say, he looks alright. He's definitely got a huge backpack, which is not the best. But like I said, I just applaud them for trying something different with Bumblebee instead of just the same yellow car over and over and over again. He's actually green, and he is a military vehicle. So it's neat. It's something different. It's got a little 10 painted here on his thigh. Not really sure what that's about. I'm assuming it's some kind of infantry or battalion that he's with or something like that. He does have these two weapons. He's got this kind of little Gatling gun cannon, which is kind of neat. We'll take that out for now. And then he's got this giant hammer-like weapon, which becomes part of a cannon for his vehicle mode. It's alright. I mean, you know, it's a little hammer. Nothing to write home about. But it's okay. So I'll put these two weapons off to the side for the moment so we can check this out. Head sculpt. I think it looks pretty good. It's classic B, but like I said, green now instead of yellow. Nice blue eyes, silver paint on the face. Looks pretty good. He's got a ball joint for the head. Move that all around. Now the shoulders are wonky, and I want to show this off because you can see that there's little notches here on the chest plate. And there's little tabs here on the shoulder, and it really looks like at one point they were supposed to tab in, but it can't really get close enough, as you can see. And even when you can kind of get it to happen, it doesn't peg in strong enough to stay or do anything. So I don't know if it's transformed wrong, or if that's a design flaw, or what's going on with that, but it makes the shoulders very loose, which is not great. So anyway, you have that little bit. It's extra articulation. You have a ball joint here in the actual shoulder. You have a swivel here right above the elbow. Then you have the 90 degree of the elbow. It's very tight though. Very tight little ratchet there. Hand swivels inward only because of the transformation. We have a waist swivel, as you can see there. A ball joint in the hip. You do have a thigh swivel. You have pretty much 90 degrees in the knee. And then that's really it because the legs are kind of a convoluted mess, but we'll get there. The problem is, so this is all because of the transformation, and these are supposed to be like heels, but they don't really work like heels, as you can see. Like, his giant backpack really doesn't stop him from falling over. Now, I'm not to say you can't get him to stand as long as you distribute the weight correctly. You can, but I feel like they thought, oh, these are such great heels, and it's like, not really. Like, well, I guess they're not too bad, but they're just not solid heels like you would expect. You have to kind of pitch them forward. It's just because he has such a giant backpack. I mean, that just flops there. He's like a turtle shell, you know what I'm saying? He's green, he's got a turtle shell. This is the 5th Bumblebee Ninja Turtle. I figured it out, guys. Bumblebee was a Ninja Turtle back in World War II. Confirmed. Anyway, so I think the figure looks good, but he's got a good amount of articulation, but the giant backpack and the weird shoulder thing going on makes it not amazing for me, just okay. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get into the transformation here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your giant hammery thing, and you can see that there's a little peg hole here on the back, and that's going to peg in there, and you'll know it works because the little top of the hammer fits into that little spot. And you want to make sure that this can bend to the right. You can actually swivel this piece around, which I was playing with earlier, and then I got about halfway through the transformation and realized I had this on wrong, so make sure that that can swivel to the side like that. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to do will come down to the legs. You're going to swing this part out. You can swing this part of the foot up, and then you're going to flip out the wheel. So it's like that, and then you're going to kind of bring this back. And then you're going to do this for the other side. Pull this out, flip the wheel out, flip the foot forward, bring this around, and then you can peg this whole section together like that. And that's pretty much the whole front of the vehicle mode there. So you're going to want to lift the backpack up for now. You can go ahead and fold the hands into the forearm, and for some reason on my one side it goes completely flush, and on this side it will not fold all the way in. I'm assuming there's some tab somewhere, something's just a little off center, or I don't know, but it will not, it's not a problem, it can still transform, but I wish it would fit more flush in there, I don't know why. So you're going to flip the back sections here. So underneath the backpack, this part right here is going to flip out like this, flip out like this. Then this whole section is going to flip around like this. And then you kind of collapse these down. So you can see that like that, basically. You're going to want to bring it into the body. There's two joints there. So you bring that down like that. Then you come around up here, swivel these arms around, and fold them in. And the directions don't really show this, but you can see that there are tabs here and here. And there are tabs under here. So you want to flip this part around, and then you want to bring this down and tab it in like that. So bring this part forward, fold this in, rotate at that bicep swivel, and then bring it down and peg it in like that. So there you go. Next you're going to open up these panels, and then you're going to just drop this straight down. Now you have to peg these into here, and it's a little difficult to do because there's not really a great like anything to push against, because they don't really, you have to kind of like push it this way. I don't know, it's really like, they will clip in if you can get it, but because the legs aren't 100%, like to squish this, like everything's just going to kind of go in towards the middle and it doesn't really peg in. So I'm going to try to get these to peg in, but that's what you have to do. This panel pegs into that little notch. Alright, so as you can see, we're pretty much already done. We're going to push this part here. You can see that the head is sticking out. This chest piece will go down, and that sucks the head in, which is kind of neat. Then you're going to take these panels and just kind of fold these back. These tabs will fit on the inside of these back pieces here. They actually snap in pretty nicely. And then you're going to lift this up, spin this around 180 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry, I did this wrong. Blah, blah. Stupid thing. Okay, starting again. This folds out like that. Then this rotates like this. Then, we'll make sure that's pegged in. Then lift this up and spin it 180 degrees. And then you drop it down. And you can see that the barrel winds up in that hole. Now, this thing never 100% clicks in for me. And I'm sure it's because the hands just aren't 100% in the right position because they're really finicky and stupid. That's where his arms are in there. So you have to close this, and it's supposed to snap in place, but it doesn't, because let's face it, there's a lot of panels here, and they're not all doing what they're supposed to, but you get the idea. This pegs into here, and this can actually turn at the base, which is kind of cool. Or obviously you could just turn the peg hole in the hole, it's not a big deal. But yeah, there is the little Bumblebee gun tank. It's a lot of panels that don't want to click into place, and then once they do, they don't want to stay there. So, yeah. Rolls decently. Let's see, is this actually... For some reason, this one doesn't want to touch the ground all the way. Can't tell. Is that rolling? Yeah, it's rolling. Okay. How about this side? Okay, cool. So I actually got all four wheels on the ground this time. Last time I couldn't get this wheel to actually touch the ground and roll. So, I mean, yeah, this panel thing is not that great. If you take this thing out, obviously it would close and be fine. No, even there it's not that great. There we go. So, it's just because this thing's not fitting 100% because of the stupid arms inside. But what are you going to do? I mean, I could mess with it infinitely and probably never get it to 100% line up and click into place. See, then this thing unclicks. It's a bit of a mess. I mean, it's a lot of panels, and it's not great. But I will say the little gun tanky type vehicle you're left with is kind of neat. It does roll decently, but it is definitely a giant panel former. And it can get a little infuriating when, you know, you're trying to line this up, and then when you do that, it pops this on the back, and then you line that one up, and something else pops. And this stupid thing on the top won't ever close all the way. So, it's alright. I mean, the vehicle mode itself, I think, looks good. It's just getting there is kind of a pain in the butt. So while I applaud them for trying something new with Bumblebee, this figure is only okay. The robot mode's not terrible. There's a decent amount of articulation. It looks good. The shoulder thing where the peg doesn't quite peg into the chest plate, I feel like something was meant to be better there and they just gave up, or maybe it's still transformed wrong. I don't know, but that's what the directions tell you to do. That's how it came in the packaging. So I don't know if it was just short-sightedness or a design flaw or what, but I wish those shoulders pegged in and were snug. The giant backpack turtle shell thing, it's not great. I mean, you can get around and it doesn't impede articulation too much, but it's just kind of makes him ridiculously back heavy and looks a little goofy. And then when you transform him into the vehicle mode you're left with is decent, but it's such a panel former mess to get everything lined up. It's just not really that enjoyable of a transformation. It's not super difficult, which I appreciate, but it's just not fun. So I don't know. Like, this guy's alright. If you need to have another version of Bumblebee and you're just excited to have a version of Bumblebee that's not a yellow car, I get it. And that's honestly the reason I picked it up, because that's what I was excited about. And he's fine. I mean, to just display him like this on the shelf, he'll be fine. It's just, if you're on a budget, there are better deluxe class figures to pick up. Especially, let's see, the rest of this wave was, I think, Sideswipe and Barricade. Sideswipe was good. Barricade was alright. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I know there are other Studio Series figures coming, and heck, Siege is crushing it right now. So if you need to save your money, go buy Siege. 100%. All the Siege Deluxes were fire, and this guy is just kind of alright. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.